Hey, I'm Chris King. I'm the Director of Process Optimization and Business Services, and I've been here at Supreme Lending for 7 years now. So we came up with the Rate Reset report. It was actually an idea from the flood region, from Pat and his group. We started working with them beginning of 24, end of 23-ish. And it was really to try to hone in, right? And find borrowers that have potential for a refinance without waiting for that trigger lead aspect. You know, right now we were utilizing what's called customer for life leads. Those leads came in when a trigger lead event happened, meaning that borrower's credit was pulled with another company. So what we tried to do is we really tried to hone in on potential refinances and get ahead of them, utilizing variables when it comes to rate and term refinances and items like that with a bunch of calculations behind the scenes. So what the report does is it pulls loans based all the way back, and let's call it our unplugged days, when we were not plugged in with Ellie. So it pulls loans back from May of 22. And what it does is every Tuesday night, it runs a subset of around 50,000 loans through Program Finder, reprices them based off of price to price, not rate to rate, based off the close price to what the current price would be today. That then generates it into an Excel format with a lot of formatting that was done by Marina and her team, the BI team, which did an excellent job. And it generates that report to the individual users at the LO level, sends a report to the branches as well. And then we just enhance something that any potential refinances, meaning that anyone that has a yes on it, actually feeds into an Encompass pipeline view. So it really targets your rate and term refinances, your MI reduction, as well as cash out potential. And what we did is we added an amortization table on top of that to really hone in on the last payment date and how many payments they would have made based off of P&I to get as close as we can to what their potential cash out would be. We're looking into potentially having it go back further. The main reason right now is just data dumps. It's easier right now to dump data into Program Finder being plugged in, especially closed loan data. So that's the real reason right now. I will say that we're looking into that. We're also looking into adding into the report some listing data, right? So a borrower that we have potentially worked with is going to list their home for sale, or they could be looking to buy. We have some data points that we've been working with to try to enhance the report and really almost build it close to what a monitor base, like a pseudo monitor base, is kind of the vision at the end of the day with this report. The significance was really just the amount of time it takes to sift 50,000 loans through Program Finder. It takes a good amount of time. We didn't want that job to run on a Sunday night to Monday night, potentially have something happen. So we picked Tuesday night, middle of the week. We thought would be good in the middle of the week to generate new pricing on reports. It was just the consensus of the group and what was decided. The amortization table just really allows us to hone in on like I mentioned earlier, the cash out piece of things. Knowing and understanding what their first payment date is and what it will be, we make the assumption that they've completed all of their payments, right? We'll never really know until we dig into their credit and we move forward, but it gives us an idea of what the cash out potential could be, because as you know, there's trillions of dollars out there right now in cash out potential, which is what most of the refinances are right now. The initial onset of the report was really to start the conversation early. It was never to wait until someone else pulled credit, right? It was really to start the conversation early and get ahead of that trigger lead and that credit event. If you see a borrower that's made their 6 payments and their yeses across the board with potential with rate and term and then MI reduction and then cash out, it's to get the conversation early just to get them thinking about it, not necessarily waiting until the credit was pulled with a different company. When we ran some analysis on our customer for life leads and the pull through, the majority of the clients didn't make the switch even though we engaged with the borrower, and it was because they were already working with someone and they already established that relationship. This is really to get ahead and re-establish a relationship if you have not kept communication with that borrower when you previously closed their loan, whether purchase or refi. This report is housed in my report, so they can generate it on a daily basis. Now, it's only gonna be as effective as the last Tuesday, right, when it repriced. So if you pulled it on a Monday, it would reprice from the last Tuesday, not reprice, it'd The repricing date would be from last Tuesday. Just keeping in contact with your clients. The refinances are going to happen. I don't necessarily think that they're going to happen this year. You will have some. But the boom that everyone keeps speaking about, I don't believe that it'll happen this year. So really just engaging your client, like making sure that you're engaging with them, following up on their birthdays, anniversaries, if you have that data. That's really a good way to keep in connection with your clients. I think it's huge for us to collaborate on this. Like I said, this was not my idea by any means. This was, it came from Pat Flood and his great team and the idea, and we just kind of built it and started moving it from there. So I would say that any other ideas that anyone has, please reach out and let's talk through them.